Hello. Do not adjust your dials. This is Ray from Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast, and you're listening to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. Enjoy.
Hey guys, it's Rod Reyes here, artist of Marvel's Damnation comic book event. Welcome to the podcast crossover between Inner Demons, Sons of the Dragon, Defender TV podcast, and Into the Night. Every issue reviewed, all tie-in books discussed. May all be damned.
Tell me, though, what's his technique? That last strike.
All right, thank you for that intro. That's one of our fellow podcasters there on this Marvel Damnation event. This is Crazy Kung Fu Carl here with Rebecca Melchior Hart from the UK. How's it going, Rebecca?
Good. Apart from the fact we've just recorded and not recorded.
No.
To
know that.
Everyone needs to know that this is our second run through the podcast. So we are here to talk about Iron Fist 79. The second Iron Fist issue in the Damnation crossover.
Yay!
Hooray! Let's have a quick rundown of the cover. We have Danny in a cage in his Iron Fist outfit, the tracksuity one. Iron Fist all glowy, and what's seemingly a demon's hands clenched in front of him. So they're like red with like spiky things and long fingernails. And
Blood-smeared Matt.
Yeah, blood-smeared Matt. Demons in the background watching on. All good.
And Brisson is the writer. Damien Corcherio is the artist. Andy Troy, color artist. BC's Travis Langham is the letterer. Jeff DeCall, again, is the cover artist. And Mark Basso as the editor.
Yes. So, issue starts with Orson Randall.
Slumped over.
Yep, the other Iron Fist in the men's locker room. Because apparently Demon Cage Fight Hotel Inferno places have men's locker rooms. Which is fine. And Danny and Fat Cobra come in to see him. He's kind of surprised, say, what the hell are you guys doing here? Because, he's probably been through the ringer 11 times.
Yes, they died. You
and
get yourselves
Danny's
killed.
So happy to see him. We get a smiley Danny. It's lovely. And then he takes his mask off because, you don't really need your mask on anymore, Danny. Everyone knows who you are.
And Orson asks if they had gotten themselves killed, and Danny says, nope, not for lack of trying. Fat Cobra says he had heard of his demise, and Danny's like, I saw you die, I was there. I remember, kid, I was there too. See Immortal Iron Fist number 6.
Which is, considerably earlier in the run than I thought, but I trust them. I trust Connor to tell us if they're wrong, I should say.
Right. Connor, get on that. Look it up.
Connor will know, because if it's Orson, he'll know. And, Orson's saying that being dead's no picnic.
Fat Cobra is asking where all the limitless virgins, finest foods, and sweetest wines to be had on the other side.
And Orson's like, well, maybe you get that if you go in the up elevator. Not so much when you wind up downstairs. And to be fair, however much we love Orson, he would be in hell.
Yes.
There is no doubt that he is not on the... I mean, he's a good guy, but he's done a lot of bad things. Standard comics. And Danny's like, how'd you get here? And he's like, devil made me an offer, gave me a chance to fight for my soul. 24 fights in 24 hours. If I'm standing at the end, I get my soul back, join the land of the living. Unless Mephisto tries to pull a fast one, and he is the devil. Yes, do not make deals with Mephisto or any devil, Marvel people.
Bad idea.
Never works well. But then we get to see one of the devils in question, who is a very cool red and black stripy dude with Orangish hair, goatee, gold chain.
He's got Guy Fieri written all over him.
Yep. He has a white shirt and black bow tie, though.
It's like, welcome to Flavor Town.
And he's got his little gang of... he's got a spiky purple demon and a green one covered in eyes and a flamey one. They're all coming into the locker room. And then he gets super excited when he sees 2 Iron Fists.
Ooh. And Danny actually greets him going, Decay, you two know each other? Yeah, we've met. Sounds like Decay, but he spells it D''K''A'. And Fat Cobra says, absurd. And Danny says, it is. Now we get the little info block of way back in Marvel Comic Presents number 116 from 1992.
Yes, which the runs... That series of Danny in the 90s with the Marvel Present have him teaming up with a few different people, one of which is Ghost Rider, and they are far from my favourite Iron Fist comics.
Very far.
You get to see the blue costume, which is either badly coloured or supposed to be blue. I still don't know.
I don't even remember the blue costume.
I just finished, when I was doing my big read through of Iron Fist, I just finished reading the Power Man and Iron Fist and dealing with all the red costume stuff that we were talking about a bit last time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came to read these ones and I was like, oh, what's the significance of the blue costume? And there isn't any. As far as I know, again, willing to be corrected. But when I read, I was so put off by the art and the stories of these comics that I really wasn't paying attention. I was just like, ooh, blue costume. So that's kind of like my memory of it all. Except I do remember there's a Ghost Rider tie-in.
Should we bring up the ballerina costume then?
No, but you can if you want.
In his very last appearance in Marvel Comics Presents, again, this is something that they have magically made never happen. Danny gets in possession, I believe, of the Cosmic Cube, and becomes his, say, true form. And his outfit becomes covered in lace and ribbons and like ballerina legging ties around his lower legs and upper arms.
Danny has just embraced his feminine
horrible.
side.
It is horrible.
It is horrible. But Danny's just, he embraces all sides of him. Once he has the cosmic, what can I say? It's pretty nasty. But, Connor's got some input for later about where you can go to read those if you want to.
Yes.
But Decay's anyway pretty excited to see Danny and says, I could interest you in joining our competition here. You seem a bit fighty. And Danny's like, I'm a little bit over Kung Fu tournaments at the moment. Which, okay, we should probably mention the first arc of the Ed Brisson run. Basically had Danny fight in a Kung Fu contest.
Very Enter the Dragon.
Yes, against some really tough opponents who also had Chi Force in them, powers. So, yeah, when he says he's a bit over it, we all get the joke and go, huh. If you haven't been reading that, you just think, oh, he must be in Kung Fu tournaments a lot, which he kind of is. He's like, oh, you've never fought with stakes like these before. He goes, and then Decay says, and it just, the thing zooms in on his mouth to make the offer. Who's gone that you missed? There must be someone who's passed on, who the very thought of makes your heart ache. What if I told you Mephisto could bring them back, provided you fight for me? So, as the last issue showed us, there's a couple of possibilities in Danny's past. He's lost a lot of people.
Yes.
But Orson jumps in straight away and says, Kid isn't interested. And what the hell are you doing here? And Decay's like, I've come to get you for your next match. So,
down the hall they go.
Yep, off the boys go. Orson saying, stay away from that demon, Danny. And Danny's like, I've dealt with his type before. Because, cocky. And off they go to the ring, and you still see a massive crowd scene, lots of demons, a few in Iron Fist shirts, cameras going off the whole time from this on. And in fact, Cobra's like, why don't you just knock Decay out and break you out? And Orson's like, he works for Mephisto. If you were even to take him out, Mephisto would still hold the deed to my soul.
Mm-hmm. So you got to play by the rules.
Yes. So they announce Orson Iron Fist Randall in the ring, and his opponent, Zadkiel's bad boy, the Mouth from the South, Deacon, which our friends at Inner Demon, the Ghost Rider podcast. Yeah, I was getting very confused. The Ghost Rider podcast have let us know that Deacon is actually a Ghost Rider villain from Jason Aaron's run. So what you need to know about him is he has the strength of Samson, golden daggers that can kill anything, and he can't be affected by the penance stare. And so that's what Orson's going up against. I like actually that they call him the Mouth from the South, because as we will see through this fight, there's a lot of talking.
Yeah, he doesn't shut up.
He doesn't shut up. And they seem, no, I wouldn't say evenly matched, but they both get in a good few punches on each other. Danny and Fat Cobra like cheerleading from the ringside.
Yes.
And Orson's getting pretty beat up, but so's Deacon. I mean, but there's a lot. I mean, Orson's been through 10 other fights in 10 hours. So he's pretty knackered until finally he pulls out the Iron Fist and smacks Deacon, knocks him out. Hooray!
Yay!
We never doubted you, Orson. It'd be different if he had his guns, right? Way. Yeah, he's pretty damaged though. He's like spitting blood.
Spitting blood, yep.
But they're very impressed with him, and they basically carry him out on their shoulders. So like they've each got an arm around the shoulders, and they leading him out.
Danny says he needs more time to recuperate. He's like, kid, timing, something I got. Yes. As two demons drag out Deacon's body.
Yep. And then we get to my favourite page here, which suddenly changes from all the sort of realistic colours to reds and purples and oranges, and the caption is hell, literally. So all the things you would, assume of hell normally, like bodies hanging from a bridge, volcanoes, bat towers, skeletons. It's very full of detail here. Rivers of blood or lava. People in cages being prodded by demons, and you see Decay walk through a path with thorns and bushes and talk to someone in a cage, in what looks like a cage of thorns, and he says, how are you doing in their sweetness?
And this person goes, do you want something, devil? The list of things I desire is endless. However, this visit is not about me. Then tell me what it's really about. Ooh, she's a feisty spitfire.
So we know it's a woman now.
Ta-da! I'm here to offer you a chance to leave this literal and figurative hellhole. A chance for your toes to once again feel the cool embrace of the grass. For you to inhale the succulence of clean, fresh air. To no longer have to suffer torture from the moment you wake until the moment you pass out from the excruciating pain. Does that not sound lovely? And all you need to do is win one fight. Just the one.
And she says, when do I fight?
And of course, we still don't know who this person is. They've been in shadows the entire time.
No, because it could be, there's a few people it could be even at this point. Because we don't have to be going to the sort of Danny story here.
It's clearly Elektra.
What I'm saying is that if you think Orson's got 12 more fights to go, 13 more fights to go, and we presume we're going to get to the end of that story. We presume we're getting to the end of that story when, by the end of the next issue. Then, I'm getting some feedback on the mic. Oh, I apologise for any bad noise. I'm doing my best. But anyway, so they could be delaying it, but thankfully they don't. So we flip back to the boys. Fat Cobra's brought in an entire tray of ale.
Mm-hmm. And then he asks where the victory wenches are.
And Danny tells him off for saying wenches again. All he responds is, so many rules! He's an enlightened man.
And then Danny's sitting down next to Orson going, you can't continue like this, Orson. You're never going to make it to 24 fights. I got no choice, kid. I gotta eat lightning and crap thunder. He doesn't say that. That's a line from Rocky.
Exactly. He's like, you don't know what it's like, hell, the things they do to you, I can't go back. And that's where you see that he's pretty black-eyed. He does seem to have all his teeth, though, in that picture, which is good. Well done, Orson.
Apparently they floss in hell.
Yep. But he says, like, just being here fighting, it's the most at peace I've been since dying. If I lose the contest, I've got to go back to that, and I just can't do it. I've got to focus on this. And then he just puts his head in his hands. He's pretty defeated for Orson. And Danny's like, I won't let that happen. We'll find a way to get you out of here. Just as he gets called to the next fight.
Yep. Appreciate the thought, kid. But like I told you already, there's only one way out of here. I just need you to keep an eye on my back.
So as they're on their way back to the ring, Decay's little gang of demons sort of gets in the way and sort of says he wants to see Daniel and Fat Cobra, and it's not really a request.
I'm up at the office.
Yeah, so Danny's like, it's alright, Orson, you focus on winning, we'll see what he has to say. And they go into his room, which has got a window out onto the ring.
Yep, you can see the cage.
Yeah, to the cage, sorry. And you see Decay, and there's a human woman sitting next to him. What Carl told me earlier is a famous Christian picture in the background of someone eating someone. So
Someone eating their son.
Someone eating their son. I remembered a bit of the details.
And unfortunately, I can't remember the name of the painting, but it is famous.
And if it comes to us, we will list it on the website, or put it in the show notes. And, you know, Decay's like talking to Daniel and says, well, you're not really immortal, are you? As he's welcoming Daniel and Fat Cobra. And Danny's like, what do you want? And Decay's like, well, I want you to fight for me. And Danny's like, why? What would I get from it? And he's like, oh, now you sound like you've got a proposition. And Danny's like, yes, I'll fight for Orson. You let him go, give him his soul back, get him free, set him free. And Fat Cobra's trying to stop him, going, it's very noble, but I don't think Orson wants you to do that. And Danny's like, it's not his choice. I lose, you keep my soul. If I win, when I win, good boy, Orson, Fat Cobra, and I walk out of here.
Generous offer. I'll have to decline.
I love these guys. They're having a great time. And then he's like, I've got a counter offer though. And he explains to Fat Cobra that the woman's his mother, who died in childbirth. And he's like, you guys watch the fight, have a chat, and we can discuss the terms of the offer. And then we flip back to the fight as Orson goes to the ring.
Former reigning champion of Kunlun, Orson Iron Fist Randall, and his opponent recently returning from a long stint in hell, Kunlun's forgotten bastard child.
Quick flick back to Daddy, Kunlun! As Fat Cobra's talking to his mother, and the other guy's saying, no tricks. Any denizen of hell who wishes the opportunity to fight to regain their soul is welcome to try. And the announcer says, Carl?
The one they call Death Sting. Miranda Rankai.
And Danny just lets out a little no, little plaintive no. So that's Danny's half sister.
So he's like, you bastard, that's my sister. So it is. As I said, anyone can fight for their soul. Stop the fight, stop it, or I'll tear your head from your body and poop down your neck.
And his hand starts charging up.
But fire demon guy jumps him. Whoop.
Yeah. A Fat Cobra punches one of the other ones through the glass window, and the others
Eyeball
all jump him. Yep, the eyeball one.
And we have a big skirmish with the 5 demon bodyguards, which ends quickly.
Yeah, pretty quick.
But Decay just kind of laughs it off.
Yep, and he's like, I've got thousands more demons in my stable, as we see maybe like 12 more come in the room.
Mm-hmm. And after that, apparently 45
Even more. Yeah, because then the room's really full. And here we get Decay's offer. If you want to save your sister Daniel, and you Fat Cobra want to be reunited with the mother who gave her life for you, you have to fight for me. And Danny's like, fight who? I think we all know who, Danny. But you know, He's emotional. He's just been in a fight. He's just seen his sister and Orson, his mentor. So he's a little bit off kilter. And Decay basically says you're not in any position to ask questions or set the terms. You're simply required to answer yes or no.
As the fight has begun.
And we see Miranda and Orson running towards each other in the cage with the caption, "To be concluded."
Dun dun dun.
Da, da, da. Let me read out Connor's mail to us. And then we can see if we have anything left to discuss. Connor said, "Another great issue. It's killing me I'm missing the return of Orson and Miranda. This is the most exciting thing that's happened in years, damn it. A question though. This issue did so well with attention to detail. It's odd that they forgot the Iron Fist could speed up their recovery with chi. I was waiting ages for Orson or Danny to help Orson in between fights, but it never happened." Yep, we agree with him there. It's strange. Maybe Orson's a bit knackered and trying to preserve his energy, but Danny certainly should have enough chi to give him a little boost. The issues where Danny meets Decay is a series in Marvel Comic Presents. The issues come with a bunch of other stories too, so if you just want the Iron Fist stuff, yeah, because they're all in ones where there's like 3 stories in one. If you want the other Iron Fist stuff, and there's also a Ghost Rider team up with Ketch, pick up Iron Fist Book of Changes trade paperback, which collects that among other 90s stuff. So if you want to read 90s Iron Fist, that's the trade you want.
And maybe it's color corrected.
I personally would not suggest it unless you've read everything else and want to be... But that's, hey, different people, different tastes. He said he loved the reference to Orson's team, the Confederate of Curios. He's very excited for the next issue. Hope Orson comes back to life, I guess. When he says comes back. Miranda probably deserves it more. And he also says he saw that some fans were confused that thinking she was alive from reading the Marvel Wiki summary. Well, the Marvel Wiki's wrong in that case. As he mentioned in his mail last show, her fate was left ambiguous at the end of her return, and the issue finally answered the question that she obviously was dead. He said he hopes we get out of this a team up book with Doctor Strange, Danny, and Ghost Rider. It'll finally give him the excuse to catch up on Ghost Rider and get through the awful 90s stuff. And he says he hopes to be here next issue, which is issue 80. It's out on April the 18th, so just a couple of weeks' time. And it is the last solicited Iron Fist issue.
Ooh.
So that means there's a fair amount to get through. And we're still going to see Danny in the next issue of Damnation, but that's only one issue. And presumably it's not going to advance his storyline too much. So, since he seems pretty tied up. So I don't know, what do you think? I mean, I clearly think where this one's going is that the deal is going to be for them to have to fight Orson.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we have time for another 12 fights.
No, definitely not in one issue.
Something is going to happen to stop it all.
Unless it's a page per fight.
Yeah, I'd be crazy. But who would you fight after, Fat Cobra and Iron Fist? There's I don't really, I don't know. So I don't really know what other predictions I have. It's I kind of agree with Connor that Miranda's an interesting choice in that it's another female character for Marvel to play around with if they did want to bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
And she's obviously more Danny's age, but we all loved Orson. I mean, we love Orson, so it's hard to... Whereas we barely really know Miranda. She doesn't have a huge role in the stories, aside from... She's never been given a lot of agency in any Marvel comics before, really. He finds out about her, didn't know about her. Finds out she's being held by the plant people, finds out this, that, it's then you think she may or may not be dead after she's been manipulated by the baddies and come back as Death Sting. So that would be a pretty open book for a writer, I reckon. Mm-hmm. And maybe she could help him raise pay and his new dragon.
You can have his half sister and Meacham's unknown half-daughter team up.
Yeah. Oh my god, yes. That would be good. I'd like that.
And
But then I'll get told off. No, we should have. I mean, I'd be happy with any of them coming back. I don't honestly think. I don't know where it's going with that. I think we're just going to get a good fight. And it'll be interesting to see how having a tie-in with Damnation while also finishing a run. Because obviously we're going to be sad to lose Ed Brisson on Iron Fist.
mm-hmm.
There is a very good chance that the Midnight Suns will come out of the event, and I hope they do.
Mm-hmm.
And
But there's also a good chance that we get a Heroes for Hire back from how Defenders ended.
Yep. And we also, you also have to remember, like, while the Netflix shows are on, and while Danny's going to be appearing in Luke Cage, and presumably there's a good chance Luke Cage could pop up in Iron Fist, there's always a chance that Marvel's going to want to reflect that in the comics they're bringing out. So, unlike other characters, he has a good chance of being in comics again without too much of a break. It may just be they're shuffling around teams and stuff. Anything else you want to say about this one, Carl?
No, good, fast, to the point.
Yeah.
Kept moving the whole time.
Second time lucky, eh?
Decent issue.
Yeah, good issue. We enjoyed it, I think.
Talking about it twice.
So much we talked about it twice, yeah. Anyway, alright. So we will speak to you again soon about the next one, issue 80. Be
Yay.
there or be square.
Peace.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Adios.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney. Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really, doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. You can also find us on Facebook, The Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon, our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast, our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are, our YouTube, Connor Carl, just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. And I would like to thank Thomas Tissot for letting us use his Iron Fist theme song for the start of our show. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.